Okay guys, I just finished welding up these, I don't know, let's call them receivers. And this thing ain't going anywhere. I mean, this wing, you know, I push on it right here, it's moving the whole car. So that's awesome, because I was worried that I was gonna have a little bit of side to side motion here, a little bit of wiggle or anything, something like that. And then I have to run like cables, but that is not the case. So very happy about that, using stainless steel M8 bolts. And I just need to get some more for the top. I was gonna use M6s, but I think they're just gonna be a little small, so I'm gonna go back to the hardware store, get some M8s, and just go the bigger size. No harm in doing that. And yeah, there's gonna be a lot of force in this thing, so you know, there's no point to cut corners, but pretty pumped up. So these are all gonna be painted, just so you guys know. They're obviously raw aluminum now, but we will get those painted up, and they'll be looking good. All right, so as of now, I am going to start gusseting the doors, and I gotta finish welding my A-pillar supports, and I just have a bunch of small things to do, mostly gusseting and things like that. But other than that, we're looking really good to being ready for primer here. So super excited, I'm getting antsy here. I actually have a pretty clear week, so I'm thinking by the end of the week, I might be able to get this thing in primer. So I don't know what I was doing there. I'm supposed to do fingers crossed. Yeah, let's just keep going on this. I bought a bunch of hole saws for our Dimple dies. So these are our Dimple dies. And I had a few sizes laying around, but I just completed the set. That way we can utilize all these if we need to. So I just spent, you know, $60 worth of hole saws. But now we have 6 different sizes to play with. We'll probably just stick to the larger diameter stuff, but who knows? I mean, if we get little intricate stuff, we can mess around with that. But anyways, if you are looking at Dimple dies, these are a cheap set. I think I got these off eBay or something like that. They're not the hardest tool steel, but for what I'm doing and just little sheet metal stuff, these work excellent. I think the whole kit was, oh geez, I don't know, maybe $100, maybe, I don't recall, but I know they weren't expensive, so pretty fired up to have these. All right guys, I just went to my buddy's salvage yard and picked up this 410 differential. It did not have the flanges in it, so I went and looked inside, and it looks like there is dirt inside the differential. Not a big deal. We're gonna clean the crap out of this thing, see if we can get the guts all cleaned up and make sure there's no broken parts or anything. He's a super cool dude. If there's anything wrong with it, we can just bring it back. So that's awesome. Right now, I think the car has a 363 in it, I think, torsion diff, and this is a 410 open diff. So we're gonna weld this diff, and right now I'm just gonna clean it up. I also got my buddy James's diff here. If you can identify what diff that is out of and what it's going in, you win. I don't know what you win, but you win something. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to tell people what they're working on, but yeah, man, we're gonna clean some diffs and get some ponies here. Well, not really power, but the car's gonna feel way better with a 410 with a naturally aspirated motor. It'll feel like a whole different car, hopefully. And being a welded diff, it's gonna be a little slidey, so I'm very excited about that. So let me clean these up and see how they look. Ooh, we got some weather rolling in, it looks like. So check this out. This is what came out of the diff. I figured out what it is. Mud wasps. Mud wasps went in because it did not have the flanges in, and it was in a rack under storage. So I was like, how is there mud in here? Came from wasps. So either way, we have to clean that diff out because there definitely is mud in there. Or the good news with that is that it wasn't in there prior to being taken off. So once it's cleaned up, everything should be totally fine. We just want to make sure all those little pieces of grit and everything are out of there. Well guys, it's gusset time. Let me show you how we do that. We first start out with some steel. This is 18 gauge cold rolled. And then you need a template. And what do you use for templates? I find this is the best. No joke. You get to, you have to finish the box to make the template first, so that's the fun part. But no, in all seriousness, I actually like the thickness of like a box like that. It's thin, so it's not like you're messing around with thick cardboard, which can kind of be a pain. And these are the style gussets we're doing on this car. So this will have a couple dimple dies in it, but as of now, what I'm doing is just making my template to transfer to the steel. So very simple. So we're gonna have door gussets like that, but that's how I do these gussets. This is how you tie this whole area in here, especially where it meets. A lot of people are asking me, oh, these door bars look cool, but I haven't seen that before. This is a very common way that people are starting to do them now. And what I'll do is I'll throw an extra bead of weld in here and then gusset it. We're good to go. All right, so we got our notches kind of smoothed out here, and I'm ready to get this on. Now, as you see, it's looking pretty good. It can actually, looks like it could go back a little bit. So I'm probably gonna give it just a little heavier notch. Well, that don't look too bad. So I might just retrace out here. Let's see how it looks. Well, I just went back and cut about 3/16 of an inch more of a notch, and it seems to fit much better. Before it was a little forward. So what I'm gonna do now is I'll show you how I just mark the second one, the second bend here. So the idea is, where did my square go? There it is. So the idea is to get this square with the car. All right, we're so close right there. I'm gonna call that good. And then to mark this side, we're gonna do the same thing. So this point to this point is approximately 6 inches. So that's where I want to initiate my bend. This side should be wider than this side because the way I bent the tube, they're not symmetrical. So this angle is actually tighter than this one. This is a wider angle. So it will have kind of a, you know, they're not going to be identical, and that's okay. I mean, that's totally what we're going for here. Okay, well, that's pretty much the gusset here. We do have to do a little finessing just right in here. We just want to make sure that's nice and tight. I mean, it's pretty close. Then you can see on the back side here, it's a little wiggly. We'll hammer that down, but those will actually overlap just a little bit, and I will cut that and just butt them right up and then weld there, and you'll hardly even know that there's a seam there. And then from the outside, it's a nice slick look. We'll weld all along the tube here. We'll get this all cleaned up, re-cleaned up again. And I don't know if I'm gonna do 3 dimple dies or 2 large ones. Well, guys, completely unrelated to anything we're doing right now, here's my E30 sitting underneath a cover in my garage. However, I want to share with you one of my most guilty pleasures in life. New refrigerator. Oh, yeah. That is so nice. Oh, you will never be this clean again. Hey guys, couple things here. I got a little sidetracked and I got working and I forgot to videotape a few things, but no big deal. Our gussets. These are our door gussets. So I got this side just tacked in. Now I'm tacking in the other side now. Let me just show you how I do that. What I do is I wrap a ratchet strap around it initially, squeeze it in, right? So it's as tight as it can go this way. And I start from the middle, work my way out, top and bottom. Then the back side, we haven't started that here. So let me show you just what this looks like. So the back side, you see that overlap? That will be cut off at the end. But right now, I can still, you know, kind of move this up and down. So what I do is I keep this centered, and then I'll just go around and just tack both sides. As we're at the home stretch here, and we got our door gussets done, I was just starting to form up templates for our gussets here and a couple on the back, but I did want to stiffen up the front just a little bit more. The nose of this car is so long, I just want to give it a little extra, and here's what I think I'm gonna do. So this is the real concern here. There's a lot of crap in the way, but let's move this for the time being. I want to show you what I'm thinking here. So I actually have the coolant draining because I think I'm going to ditch the expansion tank. I don't need it when I do the rear mounted radiator anyways. However, I do need it now, so I might just build a quick aluminum one, just a small expansion tank. That should do the trick. But hear me out on this. So obviously this is aluminum, but, and this is 3/4 inch tube, we'll probably use 1 inch or 1.25 inches. So I am thinking we'll land right here on the bend, and then on the inside of the car, as you can see, we can get this to line up right on our trans tunnel, and we'll drop a brace from our dash bar, and that will triangulate that front there and just give it extra support. The other one will come in pretty much the same angle here, and I'll just punch a hole through the firewall and land it on that side. So that's what my thoughts are right now. I really wanted to do something like that. I was going to do a strut tower bar, a removable one, but that's a lot of work, and I think this is a much more effective solution to stiffening the front. And we could always do a strut tower bar if we wanted to afterwards. Not a big deal. Okay guys, check it out. So that side actually had a hole in it already. That worked out perfectly. The hole was for the stock heater core, and it's where the lines went through. And that actually was a perfect spot to hit the trans tunnel. The other side, I had to pop a 2-inch hole in, and then I had to take a plasma cutter and just kind of, you can't see it, but I had to just kind of open it up a little bit, oval it out on the one side because of the double wall on that part of the firewall. But this is how it's gonna land in here. So I just have to drill out the spot welds on these little factory brackets that held up the dash and heater core area. And then I'll plate this. And then I think I'm just gonna come down with probably just a single tube and meet it right here. So these three will meet, they'll all connect to the trans tunnel, connect to our dash bar, and that will transfer weight and stress and all that stuff up to the front strut towers. So hopefully that should really be the last tubes on this car. Like I said, I want to do something. I want to do some kind of strut brace or some kind of beefing up. So I think this is going to be the best solution. My only concern and the only thing I see here is I'm very close to the valve cover there. So I'm thinking this might just have to go this way just a little bit. And this side kind of touches the brake booster. So these are just a couple things I want to make sure that if I ever have to take anything apart, I don't work myself in a corner here and get in trouble. So, okay, so right now we're making the plate that's going to go right here. It's kind of a weird shape. There's like a real gentle curve to it almost. So what I'm going to do is just, well, I'll show you. All right, so I have these pipe dies, which have a nice long radius. And what I need to do is just give this plate a little bit of curve. I think that's all we need. We just need to kick it a little bit. See how it looks. That looks pretty good. So that's gonna be our landing zone for our tubes. All right, slight change of plans, nothing big. We had to go with 1-inch tube here. I wanted to do 1.25 inches, but all this right on in there is so tight that we would have an issue hitting the master, the brake booster. Like, it would fit, but I don't know if I'd be able to remove that stuff ever again. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to use 1 inch, and that should be plenty stiff for this application. Like I said, I just wanted a little extra here. So we'll land the 2 tubes in there, and I think I'll just do a V, or I might do just one straight piece of 1 inch, but we'll see how that starts shaping up. But yep, that's just the change of plans we're talking about. Also, another thing I'm kind of working on is harness location. So I got tabs. James let me borrow just an old harness head laying around. So I'm gonna mock this up. I want to go off this frame rail if possible. So we'll do that and see how it looks. All right, guys, we're on the home stretch. I got that all welded up. Let's see it from the engine bay. So I was able to tie it in right here. Tied in real nice. A little close to the master, but I think it'll all come off no problem. And the only thing we had to do is remove the expansion tank for the cooling system. And I'm just gonna whip up a quick one tomorrow. I'll just make it out of aluminum. I'm just gonna put it like right here. Just be a small guy. We don't need anything crazy. Like I said, it's only a temporary deal. It kind of even sucks that I have to do it, but I don't have time to get into this whole doing the rear mounted radiator thing right now, because I want this car in primer by middle of next week.